6 companies, 1 daily briefing. Here's what happened in AI today. Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia. Let's check. Anthropic. From Pentagon blacklist to preferred vendor in 1 week. Amazon is adding another $5 billion to Anthropic, with up to $20 billion more on the table over time. The round values the company at $350 billion and locks in 5 gigawatts of Trainium capacity to power Claude. On the political side, President Trump said today that Anthropic is shaping up and signaled a Pentagon deal is now possible, a full reversal of the Department of Defense blacklisting from early March. The meeting with Dario Amodei at the White House last week appears to have worked. And from Frankfurt, Bundesbank chief Joachim Nagel publicly called for wider access to Mythos, arguing access to the model needs to be granted on a level playing field to preserve financial system fairness. Anthropic also rolled out photo ID and selfie verification for some users today, explicitly to block access from China, Russia, and North Korea. OpenAI, a criminal probe, an enterprise push, and ads in ChatGPT. Florida's Attorney General opened a criminal investigation into OpenAI today, centered on ChatGPT's role in the Florida State University shooting last year. Subpoenas are going out for internal policies and training materials on how OpenAI handles threats of harm and cooperates with law enforcement. This is the first criminal probe of a frontier AI company in the US. On the commercial side, Codex Labs launched. OpenAI is partnering with Accenture, PwC, Capgemini, CGI, Cognizant, Infosys, and Tata to sell Codex into large enterprises, workshops, integration sessions, scaled deployments. And ads are now live inside ChatGPT. Cost per click between $3 and $5 per click, layered on top of CPM pricing. The free tier just became an ad-supported product. Google. Deep Research launches, and it's built for enterprises. Google DeepMind unveiled Deep Research and Deep Research Max today, both powered by Gemini 3.1 Pro. These are autonomous research agents that navigate the open web plus private datasets, internal documents, proprietary financial data, and produce professional, fully cited reports. The target use cases are explicit: equity research, competitive intelligence, technical due diligence, and clinical trial analysis in pharma. The Boston Consulting Group estimate Google cited is that agent-assisted drug development could shorten R&D timelines by 25%. This lands directly against Anthropic's Claude Design and OpenAI's Codex Labs. 3 labs, 3 enterprise pushes, same week. Meta. Capturing its own employees for AI training. A memo from Meta Superintelligence Labs this week. The company will install tracking software on U.S. employees' work computers, capturing mouse movements, clicks, keystrokes, and periodic screenshots. The data feeds directly into AI training for computer use models, specifically to teach them basic workflows like drop-down menus and keyboard shortcuts where current models still struggle. In parallel, Meta is deploying a 3D conversational AI avatar of Mark Zuckerberg for internal communications. Employees will be able to ask it questions 24/7. HR analysts are already flagging the obvious concern: always-on leadership access dissolves every remaining boundary between work and not work. And Meta's AI ad tools have started auto-modifying brand creative without approval, changing image sizes, backgrounds, and in some cases turning static ads into video. Advertisers are pushing back. Microsoft. Moody's plugs in, GitHub pulls back. Moody's announced an expanded partnership with Microsoft today. Credit intelligence, ratings data, and risk analytics embedded directly into M365 Copilot and Microsoft's broader AI tools. This is Copilot moving from productivity assistant to financial workflow infrastructure. On the developer side, GitHub suspended Copilot Pro free trial signups after widespread abuse. Existing users are also hitting usage limits as agents take on more work per session. And Cowork, the headline's 2026 feature, continues its rollout. Copilot carrying out tasks across your M365 environment on your behalf, sending emails, scheduling meetings, posting in Teams. Agentic productivity in production. Nvidia. Day 2 at Hannover and a new ecosystem partner. Hannover Messe runs through April 24th. Nvidia is continuing to showcase sovereign AI manufacturing with Deutsche Telekom, Siemens, SAP, PhysicsX, Agile Robots, and Wandelbots, real-time factory simulation, digital twins, and software-defined robotics. The new announcement today. Marvell is joining the Nvidia AI factory and AI RAN ecosystem. Marvell's custom silicon for AI infrastructure and telecom gets plugged directly into Nvidia's reference stack. This is Nvidia continuing to extend beyond GPUs into full-stack infrastructure partnerships. The Ising quantum models from earlier this week remain the flagship story. Nvidia is moving on multiple fronts simultaneously. China. DeepSeek V4 slips again. This is the third delay. Late April was the community expectation for V4. Pre-training is done. V4 Lite has been live tested on API nodes, but there's still no official launch, no model card, and no Hugging Face drop. The Reuters report earlier this month remains the open question. V4 is expected to run on Huawei's Ascend 950PR chips, not US silicon. If the launch confirms that, it's the clearest signal yet that China's domestic chip supply chain can support a frontier-class model end-to-end. Meanwhile, the $300 million funding round at a $10 billion valuation continues to move. First outside capital DeepSeek has ever accepted. The pressure to ship is building. I read for today. 1 week ago, Anthropic was on the Department of Defense blacklist. Today, $5 billion from Amazon, Trump personally opening the door to a Pentagon deal, and the head of the Bundesbank demanding wider access to their model. Capital, political wind, and regulatory attention are all converging on one lab at the same time. Meanwhile, OpenAI catches the first criminal probe of a frontier AI company. Meta turns surveillance inward on its own workforce. DeepSeek slips again. And Google and OpenAI both land enterprise research and coding plays in the same 48 hours. Last week's story was cybersecurity AI becoming state infrastructure. This week's story is that consolidation happens fast. One lab can go from pariah to preferred vendor in 7 days. The next 7 days will tell us whether that's durable or just the top of a cycle. Subscribe for your daily commit to AI news. New episodes every weekday at 8 p.m. See you tomorrow.